Close your eyes, if only for a moment, and forget what your senses are telling you. Forget the bank balance, forget the unpaid bills, forget the lack, forget the noise of the world. All that appears is only a shadow of what is being imagined, whether knowingly or unknowingly, for what you believe, what you accept, and what you dwell upon, in the silence of your soul, that is what becomes flesh. There is a truth so strange to the worldly mind, and yet so simple to the inner being. You can create money, real, spendable, visible wealth out of what appears to be nothing, not through manipulation, not through struggle, not through begging or toiling, but through awareness, through a deep knowing awareness that you are already in possession of the wealth you seek. The outer world mirrors the inner state. It is not the cause, it is not the source. It is only the reflection. If the mirror shows a poor man, and you try to comb the hair of the reflection, you labor in vain. But if you turn within and adjust the self you imagine yourself to be, then the mirror will reflect that transformation effortlessly. Money is not a thing separate from you. It is not outside of you. It is not out there waiting for you to earn it. It is formed, attracted, and held in place by states of consciousness. If you are in the state of I don't have, you will prove it to yourself again and again. You will live it. You will see it. You will experience its echo in every transaction, every attempt, every empty wallet and denied request. But if you dare to enter the state of I am wealthy, without evidence, without logic, without explanation, and dwell there, not as a visitor, but as a resident, then you have taken the first step to becoming what you have claimed. Do not wait for the money to show up to feel secure. Feel secure now, and the money must come. It has no choice. This is law, immutable and exact. For everything flows from the feeling. Everything responds to the inner speech. Everything bends to the image held in the deep of the soul. You are not poor because of fate. You are not broke because of karma. You are not lacking because of family, history, or education. You are lacking because you have believed in lack, dwelled in it, worn it like a second skin. But you can cast it off this very night. You can close your eyes, turn your attention inward, and assume a new position in consciousness. You can dare to feel what it feels like to be rich. Not rich in theory, not rich someday, not rich when conditions allow, but rich now, right now. Feel the weight of the money in your hand. Hear the sound of it. Smell the leather of the wallet, the crispness of the note, the vibration of abundance. Walk into your imagined reality and live there. Touch the life you wish to live. Taste the fruit before it is on the vine. You will discover, as you persist, that the world bends to this inner claim. Circumstances rearrange. People call, opportunities arise. Synchronicities begin to move like tides, obeying your breath. And why? Because consciousness is the only reality. Nothing comes to you uninvited. You are always inviting something by the state you occupy. There is no need to strive to attract money. You must simply be the one who already has it. Adopt that mask. Assume that role. Perform it inwardly, quietly, night after night, until it becomes your secret reality, and then it will break the surface. Those who know this law and live by it seem strange to the world. While others strive and sweat, they rest and imagine. While others work harder, they withdraw into silence. But what they know is this: nothing comes from hard labor that is not first seeded in thought. All effort is vain unless consciousness precedes it. Money is not evil. Money is not divine. Money is not anything but a symbol, a form, a servant of the inner man. If you despise it, you repel it. If you fear it, you lose it. If you love it rightly, knowing it comes through you, not to you, then it becomes an effortless flow, not a fearful pursuit. Let go of the belief that you are not worthy. Let go of the illusion that you must struggle to be blessed. You are already born blessed. You are already endowed with the power that shapes worlds. You are already given the key, your imagination, the power to see what is not there, to feel what is not yet visible, to summon what the world has not yet touched. Dare tonight to imagine money in your hands, in your account, in your life. Dare to feel it, not as a wish, but as a fact. Don't imagine trying to get it. Imagine already having it. Don't pray to become rich. Assume that you are rich. And then walk in that assumption. Talk in that assumption. Think from that place, and the world must mirror it back. The mistake most make is to imagine wealth, while still feeling lack. To say the words but not live the feeling. To ask but doubt. To hope but waver. This is not true creation. True creation is union. Feeling and thought must match. When your inner speech says I have more than enough, and your feelings echo with confidence, peace and joy, then the outer must conform. Now many will say, but how? How will it come? Where will it come from? And I say that is not your concern. You are not the mean, you are the doorway. The channels are infinite, the ways are unnumbered, but the source is one, your own imagination. Trust it, follow it, saturate yourself in it. If you accept this tonight, not merely as an idea, but as your living reality, and begin now to operate from the end, seeing yourself already in possession of what you formerly sought, then the very substance of the world will respond. Money, opportunities, people, events, they will all rearrange themselves in response to your new position in consciousness, and it will seem like a miracle to others. They will say you are lucky, you are chosen, you are gifted, but you will know it was not luck, it was not chance, it was law. Immutable, eternal, divine law, and you used it correctly, and now you know, the only thing that was ever standing between you and the life of abundance was your own consent to limitation, that silent agreement you made with poverty in the corridors of the mind. But tonight you withdraw that agreement. Tonight you refuse to let outer facts dictate inner truths. For what is a fact but the ash of a former state of consciousness? What is circumstance but imagination crystallized? You may say, but I have debts, I have bills, I have obligation, and I say to you, you also have the power to revise them, not by force but by vision. Sit quietly and imagine the letter paid, the account settled, the debt erased, not in the future, but as if already done. Feel the joy of relief, hear the congratulations, taste the freedom. What you revise inwardly with feeling, you redeem outwardly with form. You are the potter. This world is clay. It is soft and willing under the touch of your sustained attention. The problem is never the lack of supply, but the lack of inner attention to the truth. Most drift through life reacting to appearances, but you awaken. You take your attention off the shadows and place it on the light within, and that light takes shape. Do not imagine for a moment that you must understand how the money will come. The how is not your domain. You are the sower of seeds, not the maker of rain. Imagine clearly, feel fully, persist without compromise, and the how will take care of itself. You may find that a forgotten investment matures, a new client appears, a door opens where once there was only a wall. But all these are merely bridges of incidents that carry you from the unseen assumption to the seen realization. Do not chase money. Money does not respond to desperation. It responds to dominion. And dominion comes not from arrogance but from stillness, from that serene inner knowing that what you have imagined is already yours, and nothing can take it from you. Rest in this. Sit in the silence and feel the power of already having. If ever doubt arises, do not fight it. Simply return to the scene of fulfillment. Gently, lovingly, bring your mind back to the state of I have. For you do not create from willpower, but from alignment. And when you wake in the morning, before you rise, reach again for that feeling. Before your feet touch the ground, let your imagination ground itself in the feeling of wealth, not of wanting it, but of being it, of possessing it, of moving through your day as one who already has more than enough. Look around, not with the eyes of need, but with the eyes of assurance. Watch how the world bends. Watch how the people change, not because they are different, but because you are. You have moved, and when you move in consciousness, the entire world moves with you. The beggar and the billionaire live in the same world, but they occupy different states. The world is not changed. The man is. He who lifts himself inwardly, lifts the world around him outwardly. It is law. It is so certain, you could build a universe upon it. Many say, I will believe when I see, but you are not like them. You see before it appears. You believe into being. You look not with the eyes of flesh, but with the eye of imagination, and that inner sight is the cause of all outer things. Tonight, when you lie in bed, let this be your practice. Shut the door of your senses, and enter the secret chamber of the mind. There imagine what you desire. Do not beg for it. Do not plead. Assume it. Feel it. Celebrate it. Rest in the confidence that it is already yours, and fall asleep in that knowing. Your sleep is sacred. It is the fertile field where seeds are planted. If you fall asleep in lack, you water that lack with the dew of night. But if you fall asleep in wealth, in gratitude, in fullness, then the world must give you more of the same. You are always in a state. The only question is, are you choosing it, or are you defaulting into it? Be deliberate. Choose the state of abundance. Choose the state of wealth. Choose the state where money flows easily and endlessly to you, because you expect it. Expectation is not hope. It is not waiting. It is certainty. It is the knowing smile before the gift arrives. It is the readiness to receive, not someday but now. Live in that readiness. Dwell in that assumption, and let the world echo your inner world back to you. So many live in fear. Fear of loss. Fear of not enough. Fear of what will happen if. But you live in knowing. You live in the secure awareness that the source of wealth is not outside of you. You carry it with you wherever you go. No man can take it. No system can block it. No circumstance can deny it, unless you agree. Withdraw your agreement from fear. Withdraw it from scarcity. Withdraw it from every story that says you are not enough, or it's too late, or the world is hard. These are lies told by senses that do not understand the soul. The soul knows truth, and the truth is, you are already that which you seek. Your work is only to realize it, accept it, feel it, and remain there. So now, having withdrawn your faith from fear, and placed it in the inner world, what remains is this: faithfulness. Faithfulness to the unseen, loyalty to your inner vision, devotion to the assumption that it is already done, and that faith, if watered daily, will break mountains. The world may shake, markets may fall, systems may tremble, but your world shall remain steady, for you are anchored in a truth deeper than economics. You are not leaning on the outer for supply. You are creating from the unseen well that never runs dry. What you accept in consciousness must take shape in form. This is not poetry. It is law. It is eternal, and it will never fail the one who dares to use it rightly. But you must persist. This is the part most neglect. They imagine for a day, perhaps two, and when the senses do not show proof, they retreat. They fall back into doubt, into the old identity, and so the harvest never comes. Not because the soil is barren, but because the seed was never kept in place. You must persist in the assumption, even when the world seems unchanged, even when the evidence says otherwise, especially then, for that is the testing ground. That is the place where the new man is forged, in silence, in discipline, in quiet knowing. Keep your mind fixed upon the end, not the means, not the delay, not the reasons it hasn't happened yet. All of that is noise. You are not called to wrestle with shadows. You are called to rest in the light of fulfillment. Do not check the outer world like a nervous watcher. Stop asking, is it here yet? That is the voice of unbelief. Instead, walk, speak, live and breathe as one who already possesses what he once sought. And soon, very soon, the world will catch up. There will be no fanfare, no lightning bolt. It will come as all natural things do, quietly, perfectly, as though it had always been there. You may laugh, or you may weep, but within yourself you will know it came because I assumed it. It came because I lived in the state before it ever appeared. This is how money appears from nothing, from the invisible, from the silence of a man who refused to be ruled by appearance, from the stillness of one who claimed wealth, not with greed but with gratitude, not with desperation, but with divine certainty. Gratitude is the signature of faith. If you say thank you, not to beg, but because you know it is already yours, then you are aligned with the law of creation. You are no longer requesting, you are receiving, and that shift changes everything. Live in that gratitude now. Don't wait until it shows up. It will never show up until you live as though it already has. That is the great reversal, the paradox, the secret known only by those who have stepped behind the veil of illusion and seen the truth. All things exist now, not someday, not if you do enough, not if you work harder. All things exist now, in states, and you can enter any state, at any time, with nothing but your imagination. You don't need credentials to be rich. You don't need connections. You don't need to be born in the right family. You need only the courage to assume that which the world says you have no right to assume. This is not arrogance, it is your divine right, for you were made in the image of that which calls worlds into existence. So why should you doubt your power to call a few thousand or a few million into your experience? Why should you tremble before money, when money is only a symbol, neutral, obedient, shaped by your perception? Let it serve you, let it obey your word, let it come in abundance, not by force, but by magnetic expectation. And if ever you feel yourself slipping back into the old pattern, the pattern of worry, of lack, of how will I make it, pause, breathe, and return to the inner scene. See yourself again as you would be if it were already done. Feel the security, the ease, the lightness of it. You don't need to imagine every detail. You need only the essence, the atmosphere, that feeling tone of already being provided for, supported, lavishly blessed. Hold that, live in, sleep in that, and let the world adjust accordingly. For it always does, and it always will. There is a point you will reach, if you remain faithful, where the idea of money no longer stirs anxiety in you, not because it has flooded your life already, but because you know it must. There is no longer a question of if, only of when, and even the when ceases to matter, because you are no longer reaching, you are being. This is the subtle but radical shift. The beggar is always reaching, the master is always being. When you no longer act like one hoping to be wealthy, but live, speak, breathe, as one who already is, the outer world simply catches up. You do not need to push, you do not need to convince, you need only to remain. Remain in the state, return to it when shaken, persist when tempted to doubt. Let the old man die quietly and the new man rise in stillness. It is not your job to prove this to anyone, not even to yourself. It is your job to accept. What you accept fully will externalize itself, without effort. Let the feeling of abundance wrap around you like warm silk. Let it become your second skin. Walk into every room as though you carry the authority of infinite wealth. Not arrogance, not show, but certainty, silent, unshakable certainty, that says I am supplied by a source greater than man. I am funded by the infinite. I am backed by unseen power. And what can the world do to a man who knows this? What can bills threaten? What can debts demand? What can banks deny, when you no longer ask from outside, but command from within? If the mind is disturbed, bring it to peace again. Sit, close your eyes, and remember the feeling. Breathe into it, let it deepen, let it root, and then move from it. Do not try to manipulate the external world. It is a mirror. If you frown at your reflection and try to push the mirror into smiling, you miss the point. Smile inwardly, smile deeply, and the reflection must change. You may begin to notice little signs, unexpected deposits, unexplained blessings, a refund you forgot about, an idea that sparks and leads to provision. These are signs, not of the method, but of the movement from one state to another. Celebrate these, but do not cling. They are not the source, they are the echo of what you have assumed. Money will come through people, through channels, through means, but it is not from them, it is through them. Never confuse the channel with the source. If one door closes, another opens. If one source dries, a greater one appears, because your trust is not in any man, any job, any market. Your trust is in the law. As within, so without. And if your within is full, rich, secure, grateful, abundant, then the without must reflect it. You do not need to explain this to others. You do not need agreement. The world will argue for facts. You will remain in faith, and in time your facts will become their wonder. They will ask, "How did you do it?" And you may say nothing, or you may say, "I believed I had it, and so I." For this is the truth the senses cannot grasp, but the soul knows well. Everything you can imagine and sustain with feeling must appear, not to reward you, not to test you, but because it is law, it is creation's rhythm, it is how the invisible becomes visible. It has always been this way. Even the wealthiest men of earth, whether they know it or not, have followed this law, some ignorantly, some consciously, but none can escape it, for nothing appears outside of a state, and wealth is a state. Like any other, you are not becoming rich. You are waking up to the fact that you already are, that within you exists the treasury, and when you open it and claim its riches, the outer world simply moves to reflect what you've dared to accept. Do not be troubled by temporary appearances. They are shadows, echoes of past assumptions. What matters is now, and now you are free. Now you are funded. Now you are fulfilled. Feel that now, right now, not later, not once this speech is over. Now, let it rise in your chest, let it move through your limbs, let your heart beat in rhythm with the truth that says, "It is done." You will begin to see life differently. The fear of price tags will vanish. The pressure around money will dissolve. You will no longer chase it. It will flow to you not because you begged it, because you embodied the state of one to whom it already belongs. And this is the new life. Quiet, rich, overflowing with enough for you and all those you touch. And now, you know the truth that has always been waiting, that money does not come from the world, it comes from within, from the invisible image you hold, from the silent feeling you dare to accept. No effort can override a weak assumption, no work can bear fruit when it grows out of fear, but when you live in the end, not the wish, not the want, but the end, then even the smallest action becomes divine. Every step becomes ordered, every detail arranges itself in beauty. You are no longer hoping, you are knowing, you are not waiting, you are walking in the vision fulfilled. There is no force here, only flow. There is no anxiety here, only calm, and in that calm, money moves, ideas rise, channels open, helpers appear, and wealth, true wealth, emerges from places you had not even considered. But you are not surprised, you are not shocked, you do not say, "I can't believe this happened." No, you say, "Of course it came, I assumed it, I felt it, I walked in it, I became it." It is not arrogance to assume wealth, it is obedience to the law, it is honor to the truth. For what good is hiding your power beneath fear? What good is bowing to limitation when the kingdom is within you? You may walk in a small house now, you may eat little now, you may feel your hands empty now, but if you will not bow to appearances, if you will walk in the state of the wealthy, speak as one provided for, feel as one flooded with overflow, then the small house must expand, the empty hand must fill, the table must become a feast, and the beauty is, you will not need to force it, you will not need to convince others. The world responds without protest to a man who lives from the end. That is why I say again, do not look to the world to confirm your assumption. Look from the world you have chosen within. Don't ask, "Where is it?" Say instead, "It is done," and then rest, rest, but remain faithful, rest, but remain clear, rest, but do not step out of the state. You must feel it as real. Let that feeling warm you, let it rise behind your ribs, like a gentle flame. Let it settle into your bones. You are the one to whom money comes freely,
consistently, joyfully. You are the one who no longer fears the unknown. You have seen the truth, and the truth has made you free. Let others scramble. Let them cry out for methods, for tricks, for formula. You have no need of them. You have the key already. You hold the inner map, and you now walk with the quiet boldness of one who has remembered what others forgot, that the outer world is the clay, but you are the hand. So shape it. Shape your life with the vision of abundance. Shape your days with inner wealth. Shape your conversations with the tone of completion. Do not talk like one seeking. Speak like one settled. Let every word carry the fragrance of I have, not I need. And when you give because you will not give from obligation. You will give from overflow. You will give from the understanding that what leaves your hand returns tenfold, 100-fold, pressed down and running over, not by magic, but by law. The world will not understand you. They will say you are unrealistic, that you're mad, that you're naive, smart. Let them talk, for while they argue over facts, you will be walking in fulfillment. While they cling to limitation, you will be swimming in provision. Not because you are better, but because you believed. You believed when nothing in the world supported your vision. You remained when all appearances told you to abandon it. You chose to be still when the world demanded you panic. And in that stillness, you remembered, I am the operant power. I am the source. I am not at the mercy of life. I am the maker of. Now you begin to see that the money was never the goal. It was never the treasure. The treasure is this knowing. The treasure is the quiet realization that you are not limited. You are not forgotten. You are not small. You are not broken. You are whole. And from that wholeness, all things flow. Money, ideas, opportunities, joy, peace, influence, freedom. They are not separate things to chase. They are echoes, reflections, outcomes, and the origin was always you. So now walk in it. Let this not be a lovely idea you entertain once and forget. Let it be your daily practice. Return to the vision. Return to the state. Return to the end. When you rise in the morning, assume the wealth. When you move through the day, remain in it. When you lie down at night, sleep in the feeling of already having it, and the world will yield. It always does, because the one who imagined you rich, and when you dare to agree, the universe bows to that yes. It was never out there, it was never coming, it was always within, and now because you have seen, because you have believed, because you have become, it appears without struggle, without delay, without explanation. It appears, because you finally did the one thing most never do. You assumed, and you remained, and now you